Okay. So the first tweet I see after the Super Bowl, Jared Goff could have done this. No, because he wouldn't have got them to this point. The idea that it was all Cooper Cup is crazy, considering everything that's happened. Sure, he won the MVP in the Super Bowl, and he definitely deserved it. Um, but if that second drop pass doesn't happen into the interception, we easily see maybe Stafford getting MVP. That's neither here nor there. Cooper Cup's incredible. That's not the point. The point is Goff could not have gotten them to this point. If it was Goff, they would have lost the Bucks game. If it was Goff, they would have lost. They wouldn't have got to the 49ers game, but they would have lost it as well. The idea that Goff can put up the numbers that Stafford was able to this postseason is really crazy, considering all of his postseason career combined was not enough to even get close to the stats of Matthew Stafford. I had the stats pulled up here, but as you know, stats aren't everything. Context matters as well. Some of Stafford's stats weren't stat. He actually wasn't stat Padford to get the stats he needed against the Bucks. That was not a garbage time, 30-yard bomb to Cooper Cup. Let's just say that. So let's look at the postseason for Jared Goff. Jared Goff's postseason, all 6 games he's played, he has 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and 1,300 yards. Now, in 2 less games, Stafford has 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,200 yards, so only 100 less yards, and 70% completion rating in this postseason. We're not counting the Detroit years. We're just counting these years with the Rams because this is the argument. We're talking about the Rams team that they, both played on. Jared Goff does not have the arm talent to do what Stafford does, or the knowledge to analyze the field as Stafford does. There's a great video on this. You can watch it. I think on YouTube you just look up like Sean McVay, why Sean McVay knew Stafford was his guy. It's something like that. It's a great analysis video. I can never do anything like it, because I don't know enough about the really in-depth shit when it comes to football, but I do know some. And what I do know is the idea that Goff would put up these numbers against a top 5 defense in the 49ers and a top 10 defense in the Buccaneers is ridiculous. I mean, Stafford's stats are really really impressive. And even if we look at the Super Bowl and we're like, well, he didn't have that impressive of a game in the Super Bowl, I don't think that's true. That second interception shouldn't have been an interception. So we should easily be looking at a 3-1 stat line. And you're like, okay, what about his first pick? His first pick was low value. It wasn't that important of a pick. Sure, maybe you punt, get him in the 15, but it was basically an arm punt. So it's not like a red zone pick. It's not a pick 6. It's an interception that it's not great, but you could easily see a world where Van Jefferson puts a little more effort in, goes for that ball. I don't know why he didn't. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just didn't see that it was coming down shorter than he thought. Maybe maybe he really thought Stafford was just slinging that motherfucker, which he could, but he didn't sling it as far. He just didn't notice the range and missed it, and it was an arm punt. Literally an arm punt. It's a low value interception. So the interceptions weren't that bad. The idea that he wasn't able to generate offense is ridiculous as well. He had great yards. He had 3 touchdowns. Sure, 2 of them were to Cooper Cup, but there's a world where if Odell doesn't get hurt, that one-on-one, that's not Cooper Cup in that one-on-one. It's Odell. A lot of the times when they picked up Odell, that was actually his bread and butter. That's what he was doing a lot. He didn't have big yards, but he would get touchdowns when he first joined this team because he would have the one-on-one in red zone, and he could always beat that corner if he had the one-on-one. He could always out-jump them. He's a very acrobatic type wide receiver, and he was put in those positions a lot. So we might not have even seen Cooper Kupp with 2 touchdowns if Odell was in that game. So I think the idea that Goff could have done this is insane. It really is ridiculous. Goff would have gotten passive. He would have been making high percentage throws, and he wouldn't be doing the midfield, impressive throws that Stafford was doing that were really threading the needle between some defenders. There's always that. There was that video of Aaron Rodgers threading the needle in the middle of the field, and we saw one of those this game to Cooper Kupp. Like in the final drive, Stafford just threaded the needle. It was really impressive, and it's just ridiculous to assume Goff would even attempt the throw. I don't think he would. He's a safer player, and he probably goes for a short play. Probably doesn't get the first down. So it's just a misunderstanding of so much. It's so crazy. The Rams, I think next year, you always say this for Super Bowl winners, but T. Woods is back. Higbee will be healthy again. Hopefully they keep Odell. I think Odell has a place on this team to definitely make them the team that should win again. They could easily win again. If Aaron Donald doesn't retire, they would keep a lot of these players. They don't have a lot of draft picks because the all-in strategy, but it worked. I wanted to make a video on why all-inning on football is the strategy to go with, but that's a different video. That's not this one. This one's not gonna get much views. My drama shit gets more views than I watch, but that's whatever. These are videos I like making, so I'll make them. Stafford, incredible quarterback. It's really weird to try to take this away from him, considering all the years he's been through with a poverty fucking franchise such as Detroit. And now he looks like he was really close. Like, if he doesn't throw all those picks at the end, he has an argument for MVP. He still had an argument for MVP this year, honestly, even with all those interceptions towards the end of the year. He plays in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. He was playing against a top 5 defense 2 times a year, and then had to play him a third time in the playoffs, lost them twice, but then beat them in the playoffs when it mattered, which, is obviously the important part. Beat the Bucks, beat Tom Brady by getting the ball, winning a game-winning drive, absolute dime to Cooper Kupp. That was a beautiful pass if you remember it. Really, really just perfect. Really hard to get that off. But we'll see what happens next year. I think Stafford, after this year, I think he gets MVP numbers next year. I think he might be the MVP next year, really. If they're able to keep T. Woods and everyone, if Odell wants to take a pay cut to stay. If he does, that means you're looking at an offense with Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, T. Woods, Odell Beckham, and Tyler Higbee. And you really got to see what they're able to do with this line. They got to find a way to make Akers more effective. And if they do make Akers even slightly more effective, I think Stafford gets MVP next year easily. But we'll have to wait and see. You never know. Things could turn out bad, but Stafford is just too good. Goff could not do what he's done, and Goff will. I don't want to shit on the guy completely. Maybe he comes out and learns a lot and ends up being a great NFL quarterback, but he's in a poverty franchise right now. So unfortunately, everybody that goes to Detroit goes there to die and always has. A career in Detroit is death. So good luck, Goff. Stafford is looking to be a Hall of Famer. I personally think he already is one. Maybe people disagree, but I think he has the numbers for it. Not only does he have the numbers, but if you actually watch him with your eyes, use your eye test. It's important. One of the most important things in the NFL, because it's such a team game, you can tell he's got the ability, without a doubt. Definitely a Hall of Famer. That's the end of this video. I might do the fuck was it? Some video on, I forgot already. The all-in process. Why it's probably the way to play NFL, and to do it any other way is to waste years trying to rebuild. Eventually, you will lose the players that you're rebuilding based off of. Yeah, well, we might do a video on that. It depends. If this gets more than 10 views, I probably will. Low bar, but my other football ones did not get a lot of views, so whatever. See ya.